Hey guys, so it's been some time since I talked about a sneaker. Before I get into it, let's talk about the designer. So the designer of the sneaker, her name is Chitos Abe. She is a fashion designer. She's been around since the 90s, so she's been around for a while. And she definitely has a design look when you look at her work, which every designer should, but when you look at her work, it's very much so like a fusion of different patterns, different textures of fabrics, and just meshing them together to make them feel like a new form, a new piece of garments. Like it kind of, her brand actually, the Sacai brand actually, that's the name of her brand, Sacai. It kind of reminds me of Acronym. Acronym has this big theme that they do where like it's like this asymmetric kind of look, where sometimes like they'll use a zipper and it'll come from this point and angle down, or like just the form is very asymmetric. Even the patterns that they use, very angular. But the one difference that I do see in the Sacai brand is that this brand is very much so a lot more vibrant, because Acronym uses a lot of dark colors. Like at times they do splash hints of color, but the predominant color palette in that brand is very like dark. This brand definitely, Sacai, is definitely different. Not like something you've seen before. It's very different. This is a brand that walks to the beat of its own drum, which I love. Hence, partially the reason why I do sneaker diaries. Let's get into the sneakers. So today I'm going to be talking about the Nike Sacai Waffle. These definitely released, I believe, in May. So I purchased them from StockX. Long story, I don't really want to get into. Before StockX, I was supposed to get these sneakers from someone that I knew that sold sneakers, but it turned out to be a hack. But whatever, I was able to get them. That's the part. With that story, always follow your gut. Just back on whatever, yeah. But yeah, so this shoe is definitely, it is very unique. And the reason why it's super unique than what you are used to seeing is because this shoe is combined with two different Nike silhouette sneakers. So the designer decided to focus on two classic sneakers. The name of it was the Waffle Daybreak and the LDV. Yeah, the LDV. If you look at this sneaker and you look at those two sneakers, you'll definitely see hints of those two sneakers, little forms of it, elements of it. And to create that, this is what the designer came up with, infusing those two sneakers to create a new form. So as you guys know, in the sneaker industry, there's this huge trend happening for this deconstructing silhouettes, like flipping the Nike sign inside out, or revealing what's on the inside, flipping it and putting it on the outside. That trend was inspired by Virgil's Nike 10, which was awesome. My problem with that and seeing it redundantly, it's becoming trend, like it's becoming too much. It's like to the point where everyone's doing it and it's becoming a thing and it's not unique anymore. Like I liked it when Virgil did the first set. After that, it's like, okay, dude, I get it. Like, and now that everyone is like, that is law, it's just not interesting. This sneaker focused more on the reconstruction, right? Reconstructing these two sneakers by creating something new, right? And that's the cool thing that I love about this brand, just in itself, because she's not focusing, like she knows what the trends are, but her focus is like, how do I make this me? Like what, you know what I mean? How does this design feel like what I like? You know what I mean? Like knowing what the trends are, but like taking those two sneakers and deconstructing them, like not reconstructing it, right? and making it feel like something totally different, but still being able to have the ability to show the essence of where the inspiration came from. So the uniqueness about this sneaker is there's two of everything in different places. Like, I know something you guys can see, obviously, the two Nike checks here. That is something I've seen Nike do that before, but the reason being there's two checks here is because this was based off of two sneakers, right? So you have to show that, well, the way she did it was showing it in this way with this color palette. And also there's two sets of shoestrings laced into the sneaker. So when I first saw this, I thought that these two laces were actually sewn together, but no, they're two separate laces actually laced into the sneaker, which is, I haven't seen that done before, and if it has, I've just never seen it. And then there's two tongues. You have the retro tongue here, but it also has like that kind of unfinished threading around here. And then you have the Sacai, Nike Sacai tongue. You see that back there. You see the Nike Sacai. You have that tongue. And also too, this is something that's super cool about this sneaker, is the sole. Like, this piece here, this protruding part, when I first saw this, I was like, how can you walk? Like, I feel like you would trip. Like, granted, I only got one wear out of this sneaker, and I didn't trip. But that doesn't mean that I won't. But yeah, that was the one concern that I had. But like, overall, this sneaker is comfortable for the one wear that I got out of them. And like, it just, like, it's beautiful. Like, it's asymmetric. It's not flush to the back heel of the sneaker, which is different. Like, it hasn't been done before, and I love it. And then you have this wedge here that comes like up, that actually creates this beautiful shape. Very, very different. It's unique. I can't say love enough, but it's different. It definitely does turn heads. And I love that she thought about every piece of this sneaker. So the material that the sneaker is made out of too, the upper is like a transparent mesh. This blue part here, you can definitely see through the sneaker. You need to wear socks. I'm gonna wear these in the wintertime with some socks. And even suede hits, like here, the front part of the sneaker has a double suede. Like, you have the blue, the purple, what am I saying? The red here, and then you have the blue right there. And then also that same suede hit too is also treated in the lacing system. The fabric that goes around that holds the lace has it. And then also the cool thing too is, if you notice that the designer flipped the color pattern. So right here you see it starts off with red, and then the underline has the blue. So right here it starts off with the blue, and then the liner starts with the red, which is I think it's a little small detail, but it was done on purpose and it fits well. Even the colors of the shoestring, the fact that you have this kind of soft gray and white, the gray actually sits behind the sneaker, the white of the lace, and it doesn't shout at you. So like, even the thought of the colors, the way they fit well together, was definitely thought well. She did a great job in choosing the colors for this sneaker. The sole of the sneaker has like these, like, they feel like, they look like cleats. They're very thick, but it adds character even more to the sneaker. And especially in these two front pieces, you could definitely see these notches that actually protrude out. I think a little more than they do on the sole part of the sneaker. Yeah, it's super thoughtful. Like, it's definitely a piece of artwork. Even back here, you see the Nike logo with the Sacai logo in the back, and the silver. Like, using silver in this colorway still works. Everything feels great together. Holistically, I'm sorry I'm using a word, design words, but it just feels good. Like, the sneaker, Punky, sorry. The sneaker feels like a kaleidoscope. Like, you ever look inside of a kaleidoscope and you see all of the shapes inside of the kaleidoscope forming this beautiful picture? This feels like that to me, like, from a sneaker side. It has all those components that give you a full new thing. Like, I just feel like this is a piece of artwork. Yeah. But that is definitely my breakdown of this sneaker. It's just more of me admiring the sneaker, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I think this, for me, I know I've said this before, this is definitely going to be in my collection. It's, sorry, Punky's barking because it's probably a package at the door. But this sneaker is definitely going to be a part of my collection for a while, a long time. It's a piece of artwork. Like, it's very unique. It stands out. And yeah, so for me too, like you guys know, I talk about this a lot. For me, the sneaker is accent, but how do you wear the full outfit? Like, what do you wear it? How do you layer it? That's super important. This is a shoe that you cannot just wear with anything. You can do whatever you want, but I wouldn't, because my brain always thinks of, okay, how does the lay look? What does the top look like? What does the bottom look like? Even the sock. This I didn't wear with a sock this time, but in the wintertime I will definitely wear it with some really cool socks. But yeah, the overarching thing for me is always about the full outfit, the colors, like even down to what I'm wearing on my head. Like, even though the colors aren't per se the exact, like I have like pink up going on up here, like my goal was to make it feel like I'm a collage too, right? Piecing things together and making me feel like I'm a part of the shoe, right? Thinking about all that kind of stuff. So let me show you guys what I wear with this sneaker.